Today I want to share with you guys something that is so obvious that I'm surprised I never saw this before. When I realized this completely blew me away. It's just so obvious, it was so clear. This is something that it just clicked with me when I was focusing on law of attraction. I realized, and I've said this before, that we are not a thing, we are no thing because we're everything. Meaning that we are this process called existence. A whole thing, in the eternal now. And this is not something that you have to believe. This is something that's evident. You can go look for yourself, and physically, spiritually, meaning look into your awareness, try to find a boundary, try to find where you begin, try to find even a name, an image. Whatever way you look, however way you look, we are existence itself. Even if you take a scientific approach, even a religious approach. In the religious approach, it's everything is God, which means everyone's it. No matter how way you want to look at it, and especially if you're trying to prove it to yourself, it's the inevitable fact. And so if that's the case, then it means that we are the law of attraction. We are this process called the law of attraction. What do I mean by that? How much effort does it take you to manifest this moment right now? Zero effort. It occurred to me that the nature of consciousness, this is my current understanding, is the law of attraction. That is the nature of consciousness. The law of attraction. In other words, then, if that's the nature of consciousness, then that means that the law of attraction is consciousness. Every sound, everything, every experience is manifested, meaning the parallel reality shift happens through consciousness, through what already exists within the space of consciousness. Because consciousness is not a thing, it's more like space. It's a space in which all experiences are known. And if it wasn't in this space, nothing would be known. And so no one is actually doing law of attraction. We are the law of attraction. That's why it's effortless. To do the law of attraction should really be effortless. If there's any effort, then I feel that we're doing something wrong. I just feel that this is not right. Because somehow we are manifesting this moment effortlessly. I'm not even visualizing anything. I'm not focusing on anything. Even if I'm staying fully present with my eyes open, meditating with my eyes open, just not focusing on anything, just enjoying the moment, which is what meditation is, just being fully here and now. Somehow, even though everything fell away, thoughts fell away, emotions fall away, a person falls away, I falls away, no thoughts, existence still is manifested effortlessly. And I have nothing to do with it. So I say to myself, then I must be the law of attraction. We must all be the law of attraction itself. If that's the case, then, if we are the law of attraction, then it means that manifestation is not something that we need to do. It's something that we are. We are manifestation. This is why then it explains then why we attract who we are, not what we want. Because we are the law of attraction, therefore we can only attract what we are. And so law of attraction being the law of attraction itself, okay, since it's not a thing, the law of attraction itself is infinite possibilities. We are infinite possibilities. Do you see the correlation? We are then the law of attraction. We are shifting through the infinite possibilities that we all are. shifting through them. Consciousness shifts through them. They're all made up of consciousness, because everything is inside the space of awareness, or the 0-point field, or the unified field, whatever you want to call it. God, whatever you want to call that. And it's evident if you just come into the present moment, you can just feel that right now, I'm the space. I look for myself. There's nothing there. Meaning there's no thing there. There's no thing here. No thing. Not a thing. It's a conscious, intelligent energy speaking, but it's not me. Meaning there's no Kfir there speaking. I can't find Kfir. I look for Kfir. I can't find them. There's no name, there's no image. It's just space. Space which all experiences that are happening, all sensations, all emotions, thoughts are experienced right here now. No time, nothing. Only when mind arises, time arises, duality arises, separateness arises, ego arises, person arises, story arises, suffering arises, all these other stuff, pleasure, pain, all these things start coming up when mind arises. When mind subsides, thoughts, mind meaning thoughts, everything, peace. Peace is always here. I use the analogy of human beings being a whirlpool, similar to a whirlpool of water. When you are in presence, you are at the center of the whirlpool, the 0 point, where there's no water, nothing there. There's absolutely no water there. And all the form of water flows in and through you, and you observe all the flow of the ocean that flows in and through you. And the center, since it doesn't it's a space. It itself is not a thing. It's so easily overlooked. Because the things happening within the space can become very distracting. It's just like when we go to the movie theater and we're watching the movie on the screen. At first, when we walk in the movie theater, we see the screen. We're fully aware the movie's not on the screen. There's a screen there that's doesn't change, even though the movie's playing on it. We're somewhat conscious of this. Okay, most people, I'm saying like majority of people are somewhat conscious. People are in the ego state. But then the movie starts playing. Then we get lost into the movie, and we forget that it's on the screen. It's not actually. The screen is unaffected. Even the screen of our, so use that and when it comes to awareness. The screen of awareness is never affected by anything that's in the screen. It doesn't change. In other words, you can't add anything to yourself. You can't take anything away from yourself. That awareness is already complete. It's a space which contains all things, all possibilities. You are that space. In other words, you are the law of attraction. You are the space which contains infinite possibilities, and you're shifting within yourself, having this infinite experience. Realizing that you are the law of attraction, you yourself are the law of attraction, is where effort ends. Effort to manifest ends. Because when you change the perspective from I'm using the law of attraction, first of all, it seems like there's a duality there, there's a separation there. And I don't know, it's such a subtle thing. But some people say, oh come on, that's just how we say things, right? That's just how we say things. I know that's how we say things, but what I'm trying to show you is that this way of talking, miscommunication, is creating phantoms that don't exist. This is a phantom. I am using the law of attraction as if there's an I here that is using something called the law of attraction, which is a law that somehow is imposed upon me because it's somehow separate from me, that it's imposed upon me. I'm using this law. There is no law separate from you. Nothing is separate from you. If you are existence itself, nothing can be separate from you. We are the law of attraction. We are the law of nature. All the laws of nature, that's us. That if you want to know how does consciousness function, just look, just observe. This is how consciousness functions. It's functioning. Law of attraction is here. Law of what you resist persists. The law of mentalism. All these laws, right? But they're not actually words. These laws are not words. They are this. Okay, and people get caught up with the reading the whole definition. Like, it's not about that. It's not about the words. Let go of that. Let go of that definition of mentalism. And here, it's right here. You're not going to find the experience of what is written in those books. The experience is not going to be found in the book. The experience is here now. The book is just there to guide you to what's here now, to just recognize that which is always here now. If it's trying to sell you a belief system that you cannot verify here now, then my suggestion is stay away from that. Don't just pick up any belief. Make sure you could verify. Go into it. Just like we go into our beliefs right now and our assumptions. This whole thing lucid living is about. The reason why this is the best approach, in my opinion, is because, and I could be wrong. This might not be the best approach, but in my opinion, from what I see right now, this seems to be the best approach. Is I realized you can't talk people out of their illusions. You can't. So the only thing that you could do, if you really want to help somebody, is you can question their beliefs and their assumptions. This way, this is what I do as a coach. I don't give you anything. Even right now, I'm not giving you anything to hold on to. There's nothing to hold on to. Especially if you recognize that you are not a thing. Who's holding on to what? So what I do is I would question if someone comes to me and say, Kfir, I suffer. Please help me stop end my suffering. Please, I'm suffering so much. People come and they bother me and I don't know what to do, and I have so much thoughts, and I have my mortgage and my kids and all this and that, and I have pain from the past that's coming and affecting me here in the present, and I have thoughts about the future, and what do I do? Please, I suffer. It occurred to me also that the way modern society, especially here in the West, in America, I'm going to speak about especially in New York City since this is where I live, from what I've observed, from the people that I've encountered, from my own experience, is that we are used to this, like, it's almost like taking a Tylenol, something that will pacify, temporarily put the pain to sleep. But it doesn't doesn't take care of the root problem. So some people are looking for some kind of technique. And some teachers will give you a technique. Some will give you a technique for the other reasons. Some will give you a technique not to help you pacify your mind, to show you that there is no technique. That there's nothing you can do because you're not there. Some will give it to you because I don't know. I have no idea why they're trying to give you a technique. If it's not for the reason to show you that there is no self there that can do anything about it, and that the only way to actually live your life in harmony and have everything manifest for you is to just let go completely of the person, of the fear of dying, realizing you can't die. And I can't die. Who is the you that's dying? Look for that self while you're alive. Whatever that means. Life, death. Look at nature. Observe life and death. Witness it with plants. Witness it as you burn a piece of paper. Witness the transmutation of energy of consciousness. Witness that it's impossible to destroy anything. Nothing here can ever be relinquished. Nothing here is separate. We're all connected through the environment. Everything you can ever experience, imagine, all that's within the field of awareness. Then one of the most amazing realizations that occurred to me is that all the suffering is resistance. Some people wonder why when they project stuff, law of attraction, and things don't manifest, they wonder why they don't manifest. The reason why they don't manifest is we're resisting the present moment. The law of attraction, what we are, does not work when we are. It doesn't work. It's always working. First of all, we are always existing, so therefore it's always in effect. However, it won't work in the way that we want it to work. In other words, I'll explain this. Let me hold on 1 second. I want to speak the words in the most truthful way possible. Let me find the right words to explain this. If you're resisting something in the present moment, you're identifying with ego. Because in order for me to resist something right now, there has to be something that's the resistor. Therefore, that means if there's a resistance there and I'm identifying with this and I'm reacting, in other words, I could feel a resistance, I could observe that. But as long as I don't identify with that, it's fine. If I begin to identify with it, then it means I'm under the illusion that there is a resistor and there's a sufferer or whatever, and then that begins to distort reality and I experience suffering. However, you know what I would say would be a good practice? Is a practice. It's not really a practice. It's really just catching yourself. Whenever you feel a good feeling, a bad feeling, do your utmost best. And don't be hard on yourself if you're not doing it all day. Don't worry about it. It happens on its own. Just do what you can. Don't get upset. Don't beat yourself up. Okay, I wasn't able to stay present always. I used to get lost in my mind, wander off, and when I say get lost in my mind, I mean the mind always does whatever it wants, even when I'm being. I just let the mind do whatever it wants. However, I'm the one observing it. It's not like I'm lost in it. I'm not lost in the daydream. You see people daydream. When you see someone daydream like this, they're not in reality. He stepped out of reality. So what is this called? Why is it called an awakening? Why is it a spiritual awakening? Because you're waking up from what? From the dream. You have the dream in your mind. The matrix, the dream, the matrix, the mind matrix. Excuse me. Max Planck, the father of quantum physics, said, the mind is the matrix of all matter. In other words, there is no matter. Matter can be bent with the mind. In other words, then, if matter can be bent with the mind, it means that what we call matter is mind. It is thoughts. So Plato was right. It's evident. Otherwise, law of attraction wouldn't work. There would be no manifestation. There's no parallel reality shifting. However, It's evidence. There's evidence that suggests you can, and anyone can verify it. Anyone can even verify past events if they go deep enough into their memory and remember what they were experiencing in that moment. They can see that we are responsible not only for what we do, but also what happens to us. Because if this world is the thought, if this is thoughts inside consciousness, this infinite no-thing consciousness field of pure, just an ocean of pure infinite intelligence and infinite possibilities and just total awareness and love. Okay? It just makes sense. That means we're inside of ourselves. It makes sense that this is literally a dream. Except it's not a dream happening in a head. It's a dream happening within this space that we are. The space which is law, all the laws, universal laws, everything. That's us. And if we are the laws, then that means then it's possible then we can bend the laws, break the laws. Because there's no law that's imposed upon you. There was no one or nothing there outside of you, outside of me, you, existence, outside this universal consciousness, including all experiences of unconscious, conscious, all that. Nothing exists outside of that. Who is the one imposing the will? Not the law. There's no one and nothing imposing the law. Existence itself is God. God is complete. And that is a huge misconception, I feel, in religion when it comes to this topic. Just to touch upon this. It doesn't make any sense. I went recently to a few Jewish lectures, just to give it just to listen to. Maybe I might hear some new insights, because I found that most religions seem to be pointing to the same thing. The issues I find out is not with the actual religion. It might actually be with the people who are preaching it. They keep adding their own opinions, and it is stating it as its fact. But besides that, in the Jewish religion, which I'm not Jewish, by the way, I have no religion. I can't hold on to anything. There's nothing there. There's no one there for me to have a religion. By analyzing the Jewish religion, this belief system, I realized Judaism says that God is complete, whole. If God is complete and whole, where is there room to create anything new? And where would this creation take place if nothing exists outside of God? God being the fundamental, just another word for, and I'm gonna have to say how I define it, because we define God has so many funny associations to it. You might think of something else, like a man in the sky. Just to make sure that we're on the same page. When I say God, I'm talking about the fabric and structure of existence itself, not a king, not some man in the sky, not some other funny image. No image. Just the space in which all existence is and known, the knower and the known as one. Okay, so then if God is complete, then it means that all possibility, then everything already exists eternally. There's no time, it's all now. And so then here's where some of us get lost, including myself. I'm not going to say that I wasn't one of those people. I definitely was. Where we took life by analogy with a journey. It's like we're taking a journey where? On the spiritual journey. Let's call it a journey. Let's just go with that. Let's just say it's a journey. I'm not going to forget about whatever I was thinking about. Let's really look into it right now. Where would I be taking a journey to? If the ultimate knowing and the ultimate isness and beingness of who and what I am is always here now, eternally, looking anywhere else, in a book, in another country, in some other teacher, is not where I'm going to find it. Now, a teacher, though, a real spiritual teacher, will not tell you anything. They will not, like I said, they will not try to sell you on anything. They will just guide you to what's here, now, to who you are right here now. Through questioning your assumptions and beliefs, and even the words that you use, because the reason why we have to play with the words, we are not play with the words, why we have to question the words that not you use, we all use. Why? Because we have to question ourselves with the words that we use, and then those that we want to help guide, because these words put us under a spell. Every time I say I and you, I'm creating a sense of separation. Now, I might not feel that separation anymore, but if I keep doing that, I'm forming a new program, a new conditioning. Now, it doesn't affect you if you're not in your mind. In other words, the mind doesn't have any effect on you whatsoever without your permission, without you giving it attention, emotion, and acknowledgement. If you don't acknowledge it, you don't react to it, it just passes. It has no effect on us whatsoever. Neither do these emotions, anger, all these things even other people, they can do, nothing can affect you unless you give that permission. This is the most common sense. It's the most common sense. But we became blind to it. I was also one of them. Became totally blind to the most common sense thing. The most common sense thing. You just want to hear something interesting? Just now that car pulled up, I consciousness, not I, Kfir, there's no Kfir, just felt the feeling of being startled arise. And instead of identifying with that feeling, I observed it. That's the difference. This is the difference with enlightenment. Now, some people might feel like I'm digressing off into enlightenment, like I'm talking about that, and I'm digressing from law of attraction.
Pull up on you like that.
It's okay.
I thought it was the fence.
No, yeah, just startled me. I'm like, whoa. It's all cool, buddy. Have a good night. You see that? How did he know that I felt like he pulled up on me like the police? Because normally, if police want to pull up on someone, they would pull up someone suddenly like that. If you want to catch them doing something. Now, yeah, normally the way he pulled up, it almost seemed like police was pulling up just to see what I'm doing or whatever. But how did he know? Because he feels the vibe. That's one thing. That's another major proof. The fact that we can feel each other. Not only I hear you, which is, first of all, the fact that I can talk. These are just, if you look at it from a scientific standpoint, let's put on the scientific lens, right? Over reality. Just look at it only from a scientific perspective now. We're not looking at real reality because now we're wearing a lens. From a scientific perspective, these are just mouth noises. There's some kind of frequency coming out, some sound, some frequency. The fact that you're able to hear me, that you're able to receive it, that this connection could even be made, is already a clear, common sense proof that we are one. This would be impossible. This is a form of telepathy. I'm able to make some sort of sound come out of my mouth. It sounds like if you never heard this before, if you just somebody never heard English, you just hear like somehow this combination of sounds and frequencies can go into your ear, or this apparently seems that this is what's happening, right? We don't really know what's happening, but it apparently seems that there's something from the outside coming in, right? Now let's really look at that. Is there something coming from outside? The fact that you're able to communicate and react with the apparent, that's why I call it apparent external world, is living proof that you are one with it. You go with it. If you There's a reason why we're not able to go into the physically affect a video game, a character in a video game. We can't go in because we're not in that game. Only something that's inside the game can affect the game. But when we play video games, life is very much like a simulation in a way. It's a dream. I like your dream because a dream just seems, but then again, it could be a simulation too. It doesn't matter. I don't hold any standpoint. What my intuition says, not intuition from presence, not intuition from ego, because intuition from ego can be just your emotions. Don't mistake that with intuition. Intuition only comes from presence. My intuition leans more to the organic view, which is the dream, rather than a synthetic view, which is a simulation. Now, these looks like polar opposites. That's like another epiphany happening over here. That anything that are polar opposites might seem separate as separate can be, but they're really one. So what's the hidden connection? Both the organic life and artificial life exist in the same space, meaning that it's both a dream and a simulation at the same time. Meaning the simulation, the nature, if it's a simulation, let's say we take that, the simulation. If it's a simulation, then the nature of the simulation functions like a dream, where there is nothing outside of the simulation that affects the simulation. There is consciousness, and which is who we are, and the simulation will be taking place within us. And the way it functions, the nature of this simulation functions just like a dream. Well, what we would define to be a dream. And it's the other way around too. If reality is really a dream, then the way this dream functions is very much like a simulation. In other words, the way simulations work and the way dreams work is also the same. Based on the same, because that's the only way we know reality. We can only create simulations based on our experience. We don't know anything outside of our experience. And the way we happen to naturally know how to create a simulation just so happens to be with a binary code, just so happens to be the same, in an organic way, the same way nature in a quantum level works. Well, that's interesting. Except this is organic and that's synthetic. So we're using something synthetic to understand the organic. Very interesting. Anyway, we are the law of attraction, guys. You see why, as I'm doing this, you see how I'm learning? I just had an epiphany. Because when one teaches to learn, except I'm not teaching you anything. I didn't even learn anything. Because there was nothing less. It was a recognition. I just recognized something that was always there. Usually when that happens, I tend to laugh. A nice laugh comes out. Anyway, this video is getting a little too long. I think the point has been very, very, very clear. To do this, by the way, just to end it off on this note, to do it effortlessly is just to trust yourself. You are the process, and let go. You can't do anything as an ego, because there's no ego. You are the law of attraction. You are this existence. Let go. When you don't even have to even set your intention. By you being in the presence, your mind is off. When the mind is off, the heart awakens, which is where consciousness emanates from. We feel it predominantly in our heart. From the heart, then whatever you truly want in your heart, you don't have to think about what you want. The heart already knows what it wants. When your heart's awakened and you're in presence, you're already in the state of letting go, everything in your heart will manifest effortlessly. Zero effort, not even have to set an intention, no mantras, no nothing, no sigils, none of that, nothing. You don't have to do anything, zero. That's the best part about this. It's the most amazing thing. It's so simple. Are you telling me I don't have to do anything? Yes, because you are the law. You are the law of attraction. You are the universe. You are existence. You don't have to do anything. You're it. Just let go. And anything you feel in your heart, whatever you want to really experience, will manifest by itself instantly. No effort, the way you're manifesting this right now. That's the great secret, guys. That is the master key. There's no technique. There's no teaching, no teacher, no student. Because you're it. Thank you, guys. Namaste.